you try to burn overnight, and the fires, they just don't last that long. In these videos, I always talk about what camera setup I'm using for the day. What's up, guys? It's Frank, back with another John Deere 1025r video, along with the Champion log splitter 27 ton. Haven't made a video in a little while, but I have a lot of firewood to split, and we are in crunch time over here because it is September 2nd right now. And the nights are getting, I don't want to say cold, but they're getting chilly, and before you know it, it's going to be time to start burning some wood. So I've got some beautiful wood here. Well, maybe not all of it's beautiful. I've been out kind of working on it. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a mess of a pile over here. This wood, I am not good with my tree identification, guys, so don't hold this to me. But this, I believe, is some kind of birch over here, and this stuff has been a pain in the ass to split. I don't know how to describe it other than it is very like stringy, and you can split it, but it's still got parts that are connected, so you have to take it out and flip it around to the other side and then bring the log splitter down, the splitting part of it down again. It's just been a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I got the wood for free, so I can't complain, and it's gonna heat my house, so not complaining at all. Then I've got this beautiful pile of oak right here, which this came from the property when I cut down a tree earlier in the spring, a pretty big one. We've got, again, not good with tree identification here. I believe this is some kind of maple. This I also got for free from my boys at Middlesex Tree. And then we've got these chunkers right here. This tree right here was a standing dead tree. Derek had told me if you get this wood and you get it split and you leave it out for like a month or so, it's gonna be so dry and ready to burn. There's only one problem with that though, and it's that I like to do things in order. So when I'm done splitting up the crappy birch over there, I'm probably just going to make my way down the pile from the oak that I removed from the property to this maple tree right here, and then to this tree over here. So I think that's the way that I'm gonna do it, so let's get started. I've already got a few pieces of this birch cut up, so we're gonna get to splitting right away. So let's start this bad boy up. Little bit of choke. I'm just thinking 2 or 3 pulls. How's one? All right, here we go with our first drop off of the day, if you want to call it that. With this wood being so wet, as you saw in one of those clips right there with the water coming out, I've had to cut this wood smaller than I like to. I always used to cut my wood kind of this size right here because our wood stove is smaller. So I always used to cut my wood small, figuring that was the best. But you try to burn overnight, and the fires, they just don't last that long. We were never in need of the heat. We always had plenty. Our house is really efficient. But I started cutting things bigger and using those ones at night, and I liked it. But again, because the wood is wet, I just want this to have as easy of a time as it can to dry. I don't have a kiln, K-I-L-N? I don't have a kiln over here to dry all my firewood, so the sun is naturally doing it. I got a good spot right here most of the morning, and then into the afternoon, the sun just beats on this, so that will help dry it out a bit. So, boy, I hope I can do about, I'd like to do about 7 or 8 of these loads today. If I did that, I'd be a very happy guy. Before I go any further, I've got to get this wood right here and cut a little bit off of it. These are all pieces from last year's winter burn that were just too long for my stove, just the slightest bit. Probably could have crammed them in there if I really started pushing them in and getting some angles on them, but it wasn't worth it to me. So I want to get these cut up right now and get them moved over to this pile. That's one of those naggy little things that I've needed to do for about a year now. It's just been sitting there. So nice to have that done. Question for your pros out there. When you get in a situation with that wood, like I just cut, that's that funny length for your wood stove, do you cut it in half, or would you prefer to cut it more like 3/4 and then have like a little shitty chunk from the top or bottom part of the log? I tend to always cut it in half. What do you guys do? And then you've got to figure out exactly where you want to put these little chunkers. I'm going to put them right at the top of this pile. I think I'm done here. I'm not going to stack this one anymore. Because, you know, if you start to put them into, you know, down here, or if you start to get them down in this area here, nothing's going to stack right after that. Working on bucket number 2 right here. I'm almost at capacity, but I could put some more on. I got to the point where I didn't have any more wood cut, so I cut up a few more logs over here, and I'm going to get those split and get those stacked up. You can see this area here. I don't think I'm gonna mess with this today. It's got knots all over it. I'm certainly gonna get that one out of there. And I think that's what I'm gonna use for my next crisscross. And when I say crisscross, I'm talking about the end of the wood right here with the crisscross pattern to hold everything up. I think I'd like that to be about right here. Because I don't want to mix my nice dry wood with my drying in the process wood. I'm going to start burning this wood when we start burning fires for the year. In these videos, I always talk about what camera setup I'm using for the day. Today, I've got the DJI Pocket 3 that I'm using. I've got the Creator combo that comes with the extra battery pack and comes with the microphone. It's a really awesome little handheld camera that you're basically holding the handle or the battery in your hand, and then there's a little gimbal that's on top of the camera for perfectly smooth footage. Right now, I've got it turned around at me so I can look at the screen and see kind of how I'm framed up. This camera's got a lot of cool little stuff to it. So it's got active track on it. So you're gonna notice that when I move around, that the camera is actually tracking me and following me. It's a really neat little camera. It's got a 1-inch sensor on it. It's so much better than a action camera, something like a GoPro is going to do. It does not even compete as far as image quality goes, but this camera is a little more sensitive. If you drop this thing or it takes a hit off of a tripod or something, there's a good chance that the gimbal is going to break. I'm also using a Rode Wireless Go 2 mic pack on me right now. Now this mic pack doesn't sync up with this camera, but the DJI one that I have is brand new and I don't want to get dust and crap all over it. So what I do is when I put this on the computer, I get the separate audio file from here and make a multicam clip with the video that gets synced by the audio. And once everything's lined up, you're gonna hear the audio from this and not the audio from the built-in microphones on this camera. I do have to say the built-in microphones on this camera are pretty good though. So that's my filming setup for the day. Also, I did get a glove for my right hand. I got a little cut on it the other day. It's really nothing, but I just don't want it to get infected. My buddy fell off his motorcycle recently and scratched up his knee, and like a week later, an infection grew in there and it was pretty nasty for him. So just gonna try to avoid that. Speaking of the microphone and built-in and how I think it's good quality, what I'm gonna do right now is at this moment, I'm switching over to the internal mic on the DJI Pocket 3. So you can hear what it sounds like. You can hear, you know, the stacking of the wood. The camera is about 5 feet away from me right now. But you can listen to my voice and hear how my voice sounds. And now, right now, I'm gonna switch back to the internal mic pack that I've got on my shirt here, just so you could hear a bit of difference in the audio if you had thought about getting a DJI Pocket 3. So at this point now, I've pretty much got everything cut up and split that I wanted to do over here, maybe just one more little log this way. I'm not going to be splitting this one. There's just too many knots and too much stuff in it. But like I said earlier, I'm certainly going to take this nice big oak chunk right here and get that one split. So now we're gonna get the John Deere involved. I've got to push this out of the way a little bit, and then I want to get a chain on the oak, and I'm gonna pull that out of there. What's so nice about having the John Deere is that normally I would have to push that, or you would have to use a cant hook, or you'd have to cut it right there and then haul some big pieces out. But having the Deere makes it so much easier. Oh man, that was so easy. I love having that Deere. Ideally, what I'd like to do here is get this chain somewhere around this oak log and hook it up to either one of my hooks or the front of the tooth bar to pull this out of there. So let's see what I can come up with. You know, I don't think that there's any space to get the chain under there, so I'm just going to have to use the tooth bar and just give it a little bit of a drag. Okay, that was a pretty easy flop right there. Now let's try to get the chain on it again. All right, we got chain. I think what I'm gonna do is give a hook here around one of the teeth. And for the other side, maybe another hook here. Damn, that was easy. Next, I'm just gonna leave this right here. It's off the ground. I'm gonna chainsaw probably just the one cut off of it and then see what I'll do next. That worked great. I couldn't have asked it to go any better. Just gonna cut one more piece off of this big log here, and then probably not even gonna mess with these parts here for the day. I wanna keep moving. Just realized I haven't been wearing my safety glasses. I'm very serious about these things. And I have new contact lenses in today, so it'd be nice if I kept them somewhat new and didn't get any shit on them. I'm probably 3/4 of the way through that. Another reason I love the tractor is because I am just gonna take this log and flip it over once, and then I will make the cut on the other side so I don't jeopardize into the driveway with the dirt and the rocks. I'll take that any day. So with these monster pieces right here, I'm not gonna kill myself. One of the awesome features about this splitter is that you can put it vertical. So I'm gonna back this baby up, get to about right here. I'm gonna pop the pin on this sucker. Obviously gonna put this somewhere where I remember I put it, right next to the chainsaw. And it's as easy as this. So now I don't have to kill myself lifting the log up onto there or using the tractor to set it on place, which I could easily do that, but you gotta be a little more precise. I'd rather just do it like this. Sit down and take a little break after that one. I know that didn't look pretty, but basically what I was trying to do was just get it up on there however I could, just split it and just get some weight off of it, so now I can feed it as I normally would. Speaking of safety glasses, a little bit of story time here. I own a productions business. I go out and I film and photograph, you name it, golf courses, restaurants, real estates, work for a YouTube channel. I mean, it's endless. If you want to check out my website, here it is. But I work most Wednesdays with a local tree company where we go out, we shoot a ton of video, and we make a lot of content. Derek, who owns the business, has a friend named Dan. And Dan was out working maybe 2 months ago now and had safety glasses on, but was pulling a big piece of wood with the winch on his chipper, and the freaking line snap came back, hit him in his eye. I think it was his left eye, could be wrong. Hit him in one of his eyes, shattered the glasses, went to the hospital. Guy lost like 75 or 80% of the vision in his eye. Young guy too. Horrible to see. I don't know if he has kids or not. I guess it doesn't really matter. But man, I can't even imagine how that would impact somebody's life. Got a helicopter going over. What a beautiful day. Look at the sky behind me. Check out those gorgeous skies. Is that not beautiful? I know I said I wasn't gonna mess with this part of the log right here, but you know what? I love the way that oak splits. It was so nice. It's dense, it's heavy. I'm just gonna get it chopped up right now and get it over there. And then I'm going to proceed to the pile to the left of what I had been working with. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a mess right here. I'm not worried about these chunks. They got a lot of knots in them. They're just kind of crappy. They're gonna slow me down. I'd like to keep moving, so that's what I'm gonna do. Holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. Woo, take a breath after that one. Scared me. What happened there? I was rushing. I didn't have the log splitter in a flat spot of the driveway, and the log was just too heavy. Once it pushed itself back to the back part of the splitter here, that's where all the weight was, and she just wanted to flop on me. So I'm gonna level this thing out and continue to go. Luckily nothing happened there, the splitter's fine. She is close to running out of gas. I think that's part of the reason it was bucking like that. Luckily nobody got hurt. I've got the splitter repositioned. We shouldn't have a problem like we just had again. Just loaded up the 5th load, maybe the 6th load. I lost track. I can't remember what it is. We've got most of this tree done, except for that chunk. We already talked about it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move on to this pile right here. So I got a lot of chainsawing to do right now, so I'm not gonna film much of that. If I could get another couple hours out here and you know, just get a few of these nicer logs over here, cut, split, and stacked, then I would be pumped with that and call it a pretty good day out here. Sun is starting to get lower in the horizon over here. The light's gorgeous where I am right now. It's nothing like beautiful light. I just have made my way with, oh man, I don't know, load number 7 or so. Check out the pile, it's looking pretty good. I've added a good amount of it today. I'm gonna do this one and then I think one more. I'm gonna have to use the tractor a little bit more over there to pull a couple logs down so that I can get some of the logs off the top because I don't wanna cut underneath them and have anything toppled down on me. So I'm gonna hook up a chain and give it a little pull. But I'm gonna get this put away first. Actually, I'm gonna try to go towards the middle on this a little bit, give it a lift to see if I could kind of pick it up a little bit. All right, let's see what we can do. Perfect, that works for me. It's just nice to get it down into a nice spot, easy to cut it right there. Chainsaw won't be hitting the ground. Perfect. Well, the old family just got home. It's about, it's coming up on 5 o'clock right now on this beautiful September 2nd evening. I just did my, I'm not sure, again, I don't know, 9th or 10th load right here. My goal is to stack that, split up these last few that are right here, and then clean up, and I'm gonna call it a night from there. Get back inside and have some dinner and hang out with the kids. And this is what I got done today. My wood pile is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. I think I got 10 loads, 10 buckets from the John Deere. I know a cord of wood is 4 by 4 by 8, and this is certainly more than that. I'm gonna say we're probably looking at about 2 to 2.5 cord right here. So not too bad. I've spent the past few days doing this. This was by far the longest day that I've spent out doing it. It was nice when nobody was around, no distractions or anything. So I'm gonna go up and just blow some of the machines off and compress air the chainsaw out and get everything cleaned up and ready for tomorrow. I think I'll be back out here tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I have a job where they're actually using an excavator to take down a house. I work for a guy who does a lot of construction or owns a construction business, and in a beach community in Old Saybrook, Connecticut, they're gonna rip the house down with an excavator. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.